Is Chris here? Chris is not here. He's out of town. Oh, okay.
And now, we bring you the following live press announcement from D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser. Our regularly scheduled program will resume following the announcement.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Yes, it is a great day. Okay, I'm Brenda Donald. I'm the Executive Director of the D.C. Housing Authority, and I am so excited to welcome everyone here and to thank you for joining us to kick off the Kenilworth Courts redevelopment. I am so excited that we are creating new affordable units in Ward 7 for our residents and families, and so many people I have known over the years are here today, and it is a big day. Wow, this all began about 10 years ago when DCHA was given a HUD Choice Planning Grant. Now, I know many of you have been working with us on this since then, so thank you for your patience and for your hard work. I want to thank members of our Board of Directors, our Board of Commissioners. So we have our Chairwoman Dion Bussey Reeder, Ken Council, Commissioner Aquarius Von Gossry, and John Falchicchio, who is also Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development, who is a member of our board. And I believe Ann Hoffman is on her way. So thanks for your support. Also want to take a few minutes to thank my team in the Office of Capital Programs, John Stringfield, Andre Gould, Kareem Marshall, Joe Chase, Annette Adams Beckford. I mean, these are folks behind the scenes who are making this happen and will be responsible for the day-to-day overseeing and working with our partners. It also involves people from our General Counsel's office, communications, and our Housing Choice Voucher team, who's responsible for making sure, and I want everyone to hear this, that any residents from Kenilworth Courts who had to move off to make way for this redevelopment has what? The absolute right to return. %100%. So the first phase is this is phase 1, and it's part of our overall plan to preserve, rehabilitate, and redevelop public housing for our residents today and in the future. So today we are standing where a new multi-family building will be built. To my right will stand a senior building. We'll have stacked flats, more apartments and townhomes that will be behind me, and closer to 45th Street. We're going to extend Ponds Road out to Kenilworth Avenue. There'll be courtyards, backyards, and trees lining all of these streets. It's going to be beautiful. A total of 166 units are in this first phase, so hence the name Kenilworth 166. Of the 166 units, 118 will be replacement homes for our Kenilworth residents, and 48 units will be affordable at 50% in the area median income. Yes. And we're going to have a mix of bedroom sizes to accommodate families and welcome back those neighbors who moved off-site to allow for construction. I want to thank our district partners, and that we are an independent housing authority, but we are very much part of the city's constellation and commitment under our mayor and our council members for housing affordability across this city. We are part of that, the DC Housing Authority, And we couldn't do any of our developments without those strong partnerships. The mayor is going to talk a lot more about our sister agencies, but I just want to make sure that I acknowledge too those partners. So of course to our mayor, Muriel Bowser, thank you for your support, your leadership. I see Interim Director of the Department of Housing and Community Development, Drew Hubbard, is here. He's waving his hand over there. Of course, our Deputy Mayor, who's also our board member, John Falchicchio, in the Office of Planning and Economic Development, and also Executive Director for the DC Housing Finance Agency, Christopher Donald, who is making this possible with tax-exempt bonds and equity. So it takes a lot of partners to do this, both inside the government and outside of the government. So, and then of course, we also have our federal partner, HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development, who approved this project as the first of a new financing tool called RAD Faircloth. That means that it allows us to use a mix of public and private financing to make these developments possible. So we'll receive a higher level of subsidy than traditional public housing. That might not mean a lot to all of you, but it means that we can spread our money around more to do more developments and make sure that we are fixing up housing for people while they are still living in it, even before redevelopment. So this project is more than bricks and mortar. Our development team, which is comprised of the Michaels organization, and you'll get to meet them later, and the Warrington group. See, our partners are all here, and they'll have a chance to speak in a little bit. And they're going to be creating 45 new positions, at least, on this site. And guess who gets first dibs? Our residents. So our developments offer, of course, housing, which is the most important thing, but also opportunities for growth, for development, for learning, for jobs, and for businesses. So we want to make sure you hold us accountable, and we have other partners who are part of that process, and our Michaels team and Warrington group will talk about that. So let's celebrate the good in this neighborhood and what's to come for Kenilworth 166, new homes, new jobs, and new opportunities for this vibrant community. So now I'm going to introduce you to one of our resident leaders who I've had the pleasure of meeting over the last few weeks and talking to, strategizing with, and making sure that we support her leadership. And that is Kenilworth Courts Resident Council President, Sheila Herring. Please come forward.
Good morning, all. Good morning. Good morning, Kenilworth.
Good morning.
Wow. Good morning, Kenilworth.
Good morning.
Thank you. This is truly a day that the Lord has made. And we're going to continue to trust and believe that He's going to see us through to the completion of this project and that everything goes through smoothly. As president of the Resident Council, the newly elected Resident Council president, on behalf of the residents of Kenilworth, we would like to thank each and every one that had their hands in this project in any way, form, or fashion. But all the glory, I must say, has to go to our president at the time and beginning of this project, Ms. Denise Stanley. Ms. Stanley fought tooth, nail, through agony, pain, her illness, all her troubles, everything, to protect and assure that the residents of Kenilworth was protected throughout this whole project. She sought legal counsel. Thank you, Brad, for the city. Our legal representative, Amy Gallatley, is here with us today because I asked her to stay on. But without Miss Stanley, a lot of things that were accomplished could have never been done. And I would love to pay homage to her this morning. So, without further ado, I'm going to cut it short because I'm kind of getting a little emotional speaking of her. So I would like to introduce to you all our next guest speaker, the Honorable Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Good morning, everybody. And it is indeed a beautiful day that the Lord has made. And I want to thank Madam President Herring for welcoming us. This groundbreaking has certainly been a long time coming. We know that residents have spent years planning for this. And just like everyone here, we are eager to get shovels in the ground. But we're also eager that every resident knows that they are guaranteed a right to return right here, right at home. I want to thank the DC Housing Authority. You heard from its extremely talented Executive Director, Brenda Donald. Give her a big round of applause. Mayor Gray and I were chatting. One thing you get to do when you're mayor is you get to drag people out of retirement. Am I right? You get to drag them out. They try to retire, and you say, "This is how I say it." You know, you have a wonderful opportunity to serve your city. So if you ever get a call like that, the answer is yes. I was very proud to refer to the Housing Authority Board for their consideration a retired Brenda Donald from D.C. government. And I am grateful that she told them yes. What Brenda brings to the job is, first of all, she's an incredible manager, budgeter, leader, and an expert in human services. And what we know that the work that we do at the Housing Authority, yes, is real estate and building and construction. You're going to hear about that. But it's also human services and how we pour into human beings and say, this is an opportunity for safe and affordable housing, but it's also a step to the next point in your life for yourself and your children. So I'm just delighted that Brenda's leadership is going to help us realize with all of the public housing authorities' vast resources, what we can do for the people of Washington, D.C. I'm pleased that we have partners in HUD. So Marvin Turner, you're going to hear from him in just a little bit. So we talk a lot about what every Washingtonian needs: safe housing, good schools, great parks, good transportation, public safety, and amenities closer to home. And we know for sure that people are anxious about how much housing costs in this city. And when you build a great city with all those amenities, everybody wants to live here and the cost of everything goes up. Our job is to make sure that every community around Washington, D.C. has those things. Good housing, quality schools, parks, recreation, transportation. And that's when we make D.C. more affordable for more people. And that has to be the story of Kenilworth Courts. Communities that have deep roots in our city's history. Johnny Scott Rice just shared with me some of my own family's history right here, because it was her mother, or was it grandmother Johnny Scott? Yes. Who was one of the first tenants here. We also know that in too many of our city's public housing sites, repairs are no longer enough. We need full rebuilds and renovations. And that's why in my last budget, we invested $113 million to rehabilitate and replace public housing. It's not just enough, and it's not just about building. It's also about building housing in ways that people can connect to opportunity. And so that is why we also include options for families, options for single adults, options for people with vouchers, and options for people without vouchers. And they don't have to all be separate places. We can build communities where people can live together along the entire spectrum. And that's why we invested nearly $17 million from the Housing Production Trust Fund into this project. And it's also why we announced a $600,000 grant from the Food Access Fund. So we know there's a lot to look forward to here. New food options, 166 brand new affordable homes for seniors and families, including the residents of Kenilworth Courts. And that's just phase one. So we can do all of this in partnership with the Council of the District of Columbia. And the council member for housing is here, Council Member Anita Bonds. And Anita will remember back in 2015, when I was preparing my first budget to the council, I made this promise. We're going to spend at least $100 million a year, every year, in our Housing Production Trust Fund, and we're going to make that investment. Council was kind of skeptical, wasn't it, Anita? They said, can we do it? That's so much money. We've never spent that much money, and we did it for 6 straight years. And last year, we sent $400 million to the council. So give the council a round of applause for approving that big spend. But this is what it has allowed. It has allowed all of our private sector partners to know that they're going to have a partner in D.C. government and that they can get their capacity ready. They can go out around the city and find great projects. The Housing Authority can get up off of some of its projects and work with the city to get the job done. And that's what a consistent partner in D.C. government has meant. So I'm delighted to be here, and I know this will not be the last time that we're going to keep partnering with DC Housing. We're going to keep partnering with all of our housing providers out there to build quality housing for DC residents. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our partner at HUD, Marvin Turner. We're also going to hear from our council member for Ward 7, our House Council member Vince Gray, and our council member for housing, Anita Bonds. But first, let me introduce Marvin Turner.
So good morning. I'm not going to talk long, but I do want to thank the mayor for recognizing me and everyone for recognizing me. And it's been a long 2 years since I've been out. It's almost like who this, right? But I want to let you know that I bring greetings from Secretary Marsha Fudge. I happened to be with her earlier this week after the State of the Union address at a round table. We have a secretary that gets it, that understands housing, that understands the human, the people behind housing, and really wants to do the best with it. So I happened to be here in 2012. I happened to be here when we were talking about the groundbreaking of the Choice Planning Grant. Myself, at the time Mayor Gray, and a few others were looking forward to it. And before I came over today, this week, I actually happened to look at the old plan. I think this one's better, right? Because this one includes everybody. This one includes folks that are living here, and as Mayor said, food, etc. Now, there's some things that you will hear, some acronyms, right? Federal government talks in acronyms. So RAD, right? What is RAD? RAD is the Rental Assistance Demonstration, right? We talk about fair cloth. What is fair cloth? These are two things you need to know because they actually help with affordability. The rental assistance demonstration was created because there was approximately around the country about $20 to $30 billion of deferred maintenance in housing, in public housing, right? And what the rental assistance demonstration allows is for new capital to come in, right, without replacing the residents, right? It creates a permanent level of affordability and a perpetuity. The other thing I said was Faircloth, right? So what is Faircloth? Faircloth was a 1999 amendment which limited, let me say, future ownership or future development of public housing in a big way. And here's what that means. We had the $20 to $30 billion in deferred maintenance, and around the country, we have close to 220,000 additional units of public housing that could be developed if it hadn't been for this Faircloth Amendment in 1999. So what that means, so the headquarters came up with a Faircloth to RAD amendment program, basically, that allows this additional development. And what this additional rule allows is for more development. I think it's a cap of about 2,000 that could be developed around in my footprint, but 200,000 units around the country. So I want to thank Mayor Bowser for her leadership, right? But I also want to thank Council Members Gray and Bond for making certain that I do what I'm supposed to do, and also Executive Director and the leadership of the Housing Authority, Brenda Donald. She's great. I'm looking forward to continuing to work with her and all of my friends in the audience. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. May God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And now we will hear from our at-large council member, Anita Bonds.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I tell you, it is wonderful to be here, and especially wonderful to be up here at the podium where it's warm. So, this is such a great occasion, and I want to start by giving accolades where they are due. First, believe it or not, is to the residents. To the residents that have been steadfast, just knew that a new day was coming, and have fought for it. I remember Miss Stanley. I remember quite a few of, as we call it, the old public housing leadership. Kimmy Gray and I can go down the line. Of course, I was a kid in diapers, but it doesn't matter. No, I was really working for Marion Barry, okay? And this was when he was running for council at large. And he said, Anita, you got to get in touch with the welfare rights organization. And I remember some of them, Miss Walton in particular, saying, she don't know nothing about us. And I said, yes, I do, because I'm a mother, young mother, very young mother then, and I care about the community. And that is what I always thought would be happening here at Kenilworth, and in fact in all of our public housing developments. So today I'm here to celebrate the residents, but I'm also celebrating the outstanding work that has been done by the authority. And I do want to give deference to the new executive director. Yes, she came out of mothballs, she said, but she didn't go very far. And I have to really and truly thank the mayor. Mayor Bowser has said from time to time, you know, housing is my thing, and I've said in the background, me too. But this is a great day. I think most of the comments about the quality of the project have been discussed. You don't want to hear all of that because my colleague, former mayor, he said, I'm cold. And I know I got to get off the stage and bring him on. But I do want us all to understand that this is a new day in Kenilworth, but a new day in the city, because we're finding more tools to bring about affordable housing so that all of us can live together. All of us can live together. That's what DC is about. And so I I thank you very much. And do I introduce? All right. Now, let me bring up former mayor, former council chair, former ward council member, now back being council member, Vincent Gray. And I know you all say, well, all they do is just recycle themselves. Well, look, when you got a good thing going, that's what you do. All right. Come on up. All right. Now he's bringing his baseball acumen to the podium, okay? All right. You're going to hit a home run. All right.
Thank you very much, Anita. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mayor. Where are you, Mayor? Okay. I want to thank the mayor. She has really committed herself to housing in our city, and I want to congratulate you for making this happen. This, Kenilworth, and other parts around the other areas around the District of Columbia. It's very important. It's hugely important. How about a big hand for the mayor for being able to get us going, okay? Come on, guys, give it up. Anyway, I'm delighted to be a part of Ward 7 at this stage. I live in Ward 7, lived in Ward 7 for a very long time. And so I'm delighted to be here today and be a part of the efforts that we're making. So, yes, it is cold out here, isn't it? Normally doesn't feel this way either. We'd be on top of this, Anita. So thank you so much for the nice introduction as well. So there are wonderful things happening in Ward 7 at this stage. We were with the mayor just the other day, last week, when we celebrated the groundbreaking for the new hospital that's coming to a hospital, Cedar Hill, that's going to be dedicated to Frederick Douglass. And it's wonderful to be able to have that opportunity to be able to celebrate Frederick Douglass as we are, and to celebrate the fact that we are going to have, for the first time in a very, very long time, a brand new hospital in Ward 7 and Ward 8 of our city. I'm also delighted, Mayor, that we are going to be having a new grocery stores also. People need grocery stores, don't they? And we're going to have three new grocery stores that'll be coming to Ward 7, and we're working with our colleagues in Ward 8 to be able to help make this happen. So we've got a lot of good things happening, and a better thing happening will be that I will sit down. And I want to thank, where's Brenda? Brenda Donald. She is somebody I've worked with for a long time. I love Brenda. I think she is absolutely wonderful. I'm glad that she came out of retirement to take on the Housing Authority. And I absolutely know Brenda is going to be a wonderful, wonderful operation as a result of your leadership and the work that you have done over time to tell us, to let us celebrate, help us celebrate how we should be doing these things. So I'm going to sit down. It's time to get out of the sun. And come on, give it up for Brenda, okay? All right. Here we go.
Thank you so much for your leadership. So I'm going to.
Yep. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Brenda at this point. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you, Brenda, for making the commitment for the Housing Authority. Love you for doing it, okay? Thank you so much. All right.
Okay, much has been said about this retirement. It was for one weekend. I just want people to know. And I've got some steam left in me, so we've got a lot to do for the residents, the thousands of residents that we serve at the Housing Authority. So this is the start, under my leadership, of moving the dirt, moving these projects forward. That's what I was hired to do. and supporting the residents at the same time. So we have a lot of partners. I've talked about our sister agencies. We've got developers too. I don't know. Sometimes people like to say, "Oh, the developers," and give them like that's a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's a good word. First of all, I have a brother who's a developer, and he's a good guy. But we have our development partners here, and we are holding them accountable to the highest quality standards, to timely delivery, to engaging our community partners and residents in the project that we've talked about earlier. They are totally committed. I've met with them several times, and they are as excited as anyone because they started out 10 years ago waiting to get this going. And so they're ready to go. So I'm going to bring up John O'Donnell, who is the CEO of the Michaels Corporation, and Warren Williams, who's the CEO of the Warrington Group, to come up and make their remarks.
Hey, thank you, Brenda. Hey, it's an honor and privilege for Michaels to be here, part of lifting lives and rebuilding the Kenilworth community. So thank you for having us. First, I'd like to say, Mayor, thank you. It all starts with leadership. It all starts with the top and your commitment to affordable housing. We would not be here for today if it was not for you. So thank you very much. You know, there's a saying that Michaels that we like to use a lot is home is where your story begins. And today is the beginning of 166 new homes, 166 new stories, 166 new beginnings. So we're super proud to be here, proud to be part of this, and there's lots of people involved. It truly takes a village to get this done. So if you do me one favor, if everybody could stand up, please. Do me a favor and stand up. I want everybody to give themselves a round of applause. There is so much civic engagement in this undertaking, so much resident engagement, and it truly takes a village. There's so many pieces, so there's so many people involved in making this a success today. Why we're here today. So I appreciate all the support, appreciate all the commitments that everyone has made from the city, and we've heard from a lot of dignitaries. There's sister agencies and council members and HUD. There's so many people with funding and sources in getting this done. So just thank you all for doing that. From our development team, partner Warren, it's been a long time. I mean, the commitment that him and his team have brought to the table. Again, would not be here without you. So thank you, Warren. Tom and Lori Brown, your commitment to the residents over the years. It's just extraordinary what you've done and you continue to do, Tom. Thank you very much. So, our development team, Chris Early, where's Chris at? So I look at Chris like we're in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes to go, no timeouts left, and at the very end, Chris drove us down the field and got the winning touchdown at the very end. So, Chris, thank you very much, buddy. Lastly, most importantly, Miss Herring. Where's Miss Herring? Thank you for your support. Thank you for the trust. I mean, it's got to be earned. And to Brenda, your point, hold us accountable. We hold ourselves accountable, more importantly, on time, on budget. And we're going to here to build a great community. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your partnership. Andre Gould's another one. He was there day in and day out getting this done for the authority. So thank you, Andrew, for making this done. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the when we deliver the first homes. Thank you for all your support and have a great day.
Okay. So thank everybody. Many of you know me. Those of you who don't know, I like to just be natural and have a little bit of fun, because this has been a long journey and it took everyone's help. And I'm just going to point out how committed we really are to this project. But I first want to thank and have a little bit of fun. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for all of your support. I remember literally being out of gas one time and coming down and really having a good meeting with you. And if not for you stepping up with that $4 million infrastructure money, I don't know. I don't know where else I was going. I mean, really, I was done. And I called you, Mayor Gray, when when the Bradford City Police were coming for me, and I didn't know where I was gonna go because we had gotten through zoning, and I said, and we were rebuilding the 4 and 5 bedrooms, and I remember you gave me some good tough love. You said, well, why don't you go knock on the 290 doors of all the residents? And I said, well, I've been doing that in my own way, but okay. And so it's taken a lot of hands, and I'd like to thank the new executive director, but it's been so many people before that, and they know who they are. I wouldn't be here without GQ, who was a former president, after Miss Stanley's passing away. We really tried to study the history of this neighborhood and really try to get it right. I'm a go-go head. My mom, who's somewhere in the back, can tell you about all the beatings that I got from coming in late at night. But understanding, what Qual Street meant, and my dear friend Amin Muslim, who's hopefully his family is here today, because one of the biggest honors that I see Brittany, and hopefully her son is here, because we tried to live up to the commitments through the use of scholarships that we are offering through this development, specifically, and also street namings, and so we've got legislation that's down at the council naming a street after Armin and naming a street after Miss Stanley, and that's going to be part of this development. A lot of people may be able to build on Connecticut and K. That may be somebody else's development. This is the type of work that I like to do. It may take a little bit longer, but it's the people that I can resonate with, and I'll go to war for the people any day of the week. And I just thank everyone for this opportunity, and being a housing provider for you all, as well as keeping our word. And I really am proud of the way we fought through with training grounds through the pandemic, and we've stayed together. This neighborhood has stayed together. Even when we did have bread for the city, they've been an ally. We worked it out right there at the table with Miss Stanley, and they've been an ally ever since. So I can't say that it's been easy, but whatever is worth having never is. So I'd like to thank everybody again today. I see a lot of my team members, former team members and team members. I see Kobe Williams, and I think I saw Christina, and I saw Jimmy, obviously my right hand, Jimmy, Lord knows, in your late drip. But I'm just going to close with that and say thank you to everyone. Appreciate you.
Okay, let's have our speakers and community members. Time to break the ceremonial ground.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.